Man, what a crowd. How exciting is this? It was such a thrill. Think about day 41 and I get to meet 1,100 customers. How darn exciting, how blessed is that? And the first thing I want to do is thank you. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your business. Thank you for your loyalty. So many of you were proud, the pride that existed yesterday. And thank you for your investment, your business people. Every minute matters, and you've decided to invest those minutes here. Our job is to make sure that that investment has a return, and we're working desperately hard to make sure you find extreme value in the time you're spending here. Again, we look for your feedback so we can make it better every time, but I want to first thank you for making that investment and trusting us that you'll get a return on that investment. A little bit about me, I bleed orange. Ever since the University of Tennessee orange, which is where I graduated, I've been with this orange, which I like that color even better, since I graduated and for the last 26 years. And so it could not have been a bigger thrill to get this role where I can be a part of a leadership team around the Big Orange. So that's a little bit about me, other than my 3 kids and my wife, who are where I spend most of my time when I'm not spending time with the Big Orange. Since we're talking about the Big Orange and Train, let's talk about our history. It's always good to start where you've been so you can understand where you're going. Train started in 1913, but Train really started in 1982 when we bought GE and started what you see here. That was the real start of Train. And a decade later, we put a stake in the ground. We told the market 2 key things when we said it's hard to stop a train. We said we were going to have the best equipment and supplies. And we said we're going to be dedicated to our customers. That's what that meant back in 1992. And now 25 years later, it's only stronger. Our brand is only stronger because of that stake in the ground. Now, a little over a decade after that, Ingersoll Rand bought Train. Now, for those of you that were there at that time, that was a paramount moment in our history. Why? Because Fred Pozis had not invested in Train. We were heading to a pending refrigerant change, and we were not ready. But Ingersoll Rand invested the money to get us ready, and they never slowed down that investment. And it continued for all of the years up until now. And that's the reason why we enjoy the quality and portfolio of products and supply that we have today. I am very proud to tell you I'm an Ingersoll Rand employee. 4 years after that, we announced 2 other major brands, Ameristar filling out our portfolio, and Nexia. We could see back then that things were changing. And we knew we had to get into this digital world. And so Ingersoll Rand helped us invest in Nexia to get started, to start to figure it out. Then 4 years after that, 2016, we added supply to residential because we're focused on you. We know you need both to be successful, and we needed our company to operate as one company to serve you better. And so now here we are in 2017. Let's look at what we've achieved this year. 2017, top left, we've got that smiling face. What that's there to represent is our continued investment in our people and our products. We increased our incremental investment again last year, and I can tell you, Kristen and I have committed the AOP, which we've got another pretty major incremental investment for next year. The investment keeps happening. We will never be done investing in this company because the stake in the ground about our quality products is who we are and who we always will be. The other thing we achieved in 2017 was $100 million of sales of Ameristar. Wow. Starting from scratch, only a team like this could have done that. Not to mention the amazing growth you've had in Ductless, a whole new way to go about business. In the bottom left, the growth in 2017, hopefully your businesses saw it. We know we did. And we know it was bigger than the growth of the market itself, meaning we grew share together. And on the bottom right, the most important achievement of all of 2017, our customers once again said, we are the most trusted brand. Back to that stake in the ground, we're going to have the best equipment and a dedication to our customers. We're proving it over and over again. There's nobody else to do business with us because you can trust you get the right answer and the right caring about how we do business. As far as growth, we need to step back a little farther than 17, though. What you've achieved is truly spectacular. This chart on the left shows number of units, and on the bottom across the x-axis is the time starting in 2008 and going all the way to today. You can see we had a lot of challenges in the 2008 time frame, but you can also see in 2014 where we decided our strategies. We've been on a continued upward momentum. Because of our partnership, because we're clear on what we're doing and why we're doing it, we have continued growth. And every one of those years, we've not only grown, hopefully your businesses have grown, hopefully you felt that growth, but we've also grown more than the market grew as a percent. That is spectacular. That is teamwork. I mentioned it's the strategies that are behind that growth, and I want to make sure we're all clear on those strategies. In the top left, it starts with the stake, which is we're going to have the best products and supplies and the best availability of those products and supplies. Now, we're not done yet. We got a long way to go to be even better, but we've come a long, long way to achieving that strategy. In the top right, the next strategy is about where we should own the market, replacement business. That's where trust is most paramount. The consumer wants to know they're dealing with somebody they can trust when they're making this really important, really expensive, really long-term decision of their comfort, of their cost. They want you to help them make that decision. And that is the market nobody else should own but us. We're the best at that. That's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is we better be growing in some other markets as well. New construction and rentals. New construction, we've got to go after with a vengeance. Rentals is another place where value is a decision because they want to make sure they've got uptime for their tenants. And again, they want to have a trusted partner to do that. And then the final strategy, number 4, bottom right, we better be leading the digital revolution. It's coming our way. In fact, it's already here. And so that investment we made in 12 with Nexia, we better continue that progress and lead the digital revolution for residential spaces. So together we've had tremendous success. From the beginning, we've wanted to be the best, and most recently you've proven we are. I want to thank you for that. And it's really a common equation that we've always used. It's first about us teaming and then passionately serving our customers that delivers the growth and then sets us up for the future. Thank you for the success of 17, for the success of the last 3 years, and for the foundation you've built for our future success. How about a round of applause for all of you? Now, coming into this job with that kind of success is both daunting and exciting. How can I help you? Well, the first thing I got to do is learn a lot. But the second thing I recognize is that the future is changing rapidly. And what other team would you want to be on that's prepared for that change than this one? You've not only grown, but you've set us up to move fast. Things in our lives have changed dramatically. We all know that. Digital is enabling a tool that changes our experience as humans. Do you remember how you used to get movies? Wasn't that far ago, right? We used to go to a building to get movies. Isn't that crazy to think about now? Do you remember getting into your basement and seeing the Blockbuster case and realizing you probably had $100 of late fees? How was that experience? Did your heart drop? Were you appreciative of Blockbuster? And when a new opportunity came where there were no late fees, where it was easier for you to get the movies you wanted, when you wanted, where you want them, didn't that kill Blockbuster. It wasn't the technology that killed Blockbuster. It was the experience that we didn't like and the experience we did. Do you remember when cell phones were for making phone calls? Anybody have a Nokia? Or maybe the Motorola flip phone? For those of you young, you don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself. You remember these phones? They were great phones. On his last day, in his last speech, the CEO of Nokia, after being purchased by Microsoft for pennies on the dollar, was quoted as saying, "This leadership team has done nothing wrong, and yet still somehow we failed." Now, he was right. They'd done nothing wrong with the product. It was a great product. He was dead wrong. They were unwilling to focus on the customer experience of that product. And that's why Apple killed them. They were focused on the experience. That's what's happening around our world. You take products and services and you try to connect them to a better experience with a digital tool. And the beauty of that for us is we're already passionate about both sides of that equation. The products being world-class and the customer focus. That's been our stake since 1992. Yet we're going to have to take it to the next level. So maybe we should study some companies that have already been there. Companies like Amazon. Now, don't get me wrong, Amazon's a little scary. They're a little close to home. But they've also been there, done that. We can learn from them. Amazon started as a book sales company. Their product was books. Their service was retail. And yet they did something different. They focused on the experience. And those customers started telling them, "We want to buy more stuff from you." And so they added more. Then they said, "We would like to get other people." And so they built a platform and allowed other people to sell. They would say, "We'd like it quicker." And so they started building warehouses closer. They said they'd like it even quicker. And so they're looking at drones. They said, "What about this grocery thing? It's a nightmare." So they bought a grocery store. Jeff Bezos has said over and over and over again, what we do today at Amazon can be readily copied by everyone. And so we must follow the customer faster and faster wherever they take us. That's their strategy in one sentence. That's exactly what this is all about. It's about us going to the next level of experience for our customers, taking what's great about us and moving forward with it. You see, it's the change in experience that disrupts companies. When somebody changes an experience like Netflix, like Apple, like Amazon, and that enough experience that we enjoyed turns into an expectation for the industry, those that don't meet the expectation disappear rather rapidly. That is the reason there's disruption out there. It's not technology. It's a better experience that changes expectations. How many of you are frustrated with commercials on TV these days? It's a bunch of you, right? Does it seem like it's getting more and more frustrating, that there's more and more of them, that it seems to take off most of the time? Do you feel that? Do you know what that feeling is? It's an experience that you have with Netflix where you can binge watch entire seasons of Stranger Things. Right? And that's an awesome experience. I can get what I want, when I want, where I want it. I can turn it off and turn it back on. It's waiting on me right there, starting me right back in the next episode of the next season. And then I go back to cable, and oh my God, I don't like this experience. My expectation has changed. Here's an interesting question. Please raise your hand if you do not have cable. Look around. That is disruption. Cable is being disrupted. Why? Because of technology? No. Because of a much different experience that has changed your expectations, and cable's unwilling to change how they deliver the experience. The fact is, there's clues everywhere that this change in expectation is already in our world too. Our consumers are changing their expectations. DIY is here. We have competitors coming up the web controlling our thermostats and equipment. digital marketing and millennials. You can look anywhere, you see the clues. We all know it's true. The expectations are changing for us as well. And so the question becomes, what do we do about it? I'll tell you a story about IBM and maybe what we shouldn't do. This isn't the story where IBM's losing $5 billion in the 80s and Lou Gerstner comes in to save the day. No, this is actually the story before that. Maybe even the story that caused that. You see, in the 70s, IBM was the unequivocal owner of the international business machine. At the time, it was a typewriter, the Selectric. In its day, the IBM Selectric had 75% market share. They were making over 60% margin and over 80% margin on its parts. It was a darn good time to be at IBM. But with that much dominance, you tend to get a little cocky. You tend to look through your own eyes. You tend to think you've got all the answers versus looking at your customers. In the 1950s, a gentleman named Charles Carlston showed up at IBM. He had this idea for zeography. Didn't have the resources to make it happen, wanted to know if IBM could help. IBM sent their best engineers out and came back with a 10-page paper describing how this would never work. He got his funding, built Xerox, and the rest is history. Might that have saved IBM in the 80s? In the 70s, another company came to IBM called Canon from Europe. They had this idea for laser printing. They could see how consumers were wanting to start to print at home, and they thought this might be the answer. Could IBM help? IBM sent over the best 8-page document describing all the reasons why this would never work. Two gentlemen named Hewlett and Packard did make it work, and the rest is history. And maybe in their greatest blind spot, their greatest blunder, looking only at product and not at customers. When IBM finally did go into the PC market, they outsourced the software to a gentleman named Bill Gates. And truly the rest is history. Now, what am I telling you with this story? Am I telling you we need to sell all of our equipment, get rid of it, and just go to software? Heck, no. I love our equipment. You love our equipment. It's a part of our stake in the ground. We will always provide world-class equipment. Whether the technology changes or not, we're going to own that space for residential spaces. What I am telling you is that we cannot look through our own eyes only. That's the mistake IBM made. We have to look through our customers' eyes. What experience do they want to improve, and how can we improve it? And by the way, you are our customers. We need to be looking at you and how you run your business so we can figure out how we can help you run it better. And when you get that experience, you'll be even more loyal to our team so that we can provide a better experience for the consumer. We can help you do that as well. Imagine, for just a minute, a future. All equipment is connected. Your installer shows up, and as soon as they power up the system, that connected equipment goes to the web, and that installer is looking at its diagnostics live. Makes some tweaks to get it just right. Feels confident they've done a good installation. But not only that, there's a report that shows up that they can afford immediately to your consumer. Building confidence, not only that they've got a good job, but that the Train brand stands behind it. It's a certification right there, right then. Confidence in you as a dealer, trust in you. They're going to tell all of their friends and family, this is the right dealer to deal with, and this is the right company to deal with. But it doesn't just stop there. That installer gets back to your office and looks on a computer, and sure enough, there is that system he just installed. It's associated with all the other installed base, where now you can help the customer succeed. You can see when the unit is down for over a couple hours, especially when it's not intended to be down. You can immediately contact the consumer, maybe through email or text, and tell them, hey, your unit's down. It's been down for a couple hours. Would you like me to go check it out? And let's pretend this is around 11 o'clock and the family's been at work all day. They get this text, they're like, oh, heck yeah, thank you, that'd be great. You get in through a pad with the code, you go solve their unit problem, and when they get home at night, they never knew there was a problem. What about that experience? Do you think they're going to deal with anybody else but you? Do you think they're going to deal with anybody else but Train? Everything I just mentioned to you is not just a pie in the sky. Everything I just mentioned to you is either being worked on or is already delivered, already done. This is just the beginning, quite frankly. And it's a beginning that's happening right now that we can change our customers' experiences with. You see, I'm not scared of Amazon. How many people have called Amazon for tech support? Not a lot of hands. Do they know what we know? Can they go visit that consumer and solve that paramount moment where there's tons of long-term decision and cost, and can they get them the right answer right in the middle of their home? No way. That's the power of us, Train and distributors and dealers. The power of that one team is what we know and how we can deliver it to our consumers. And I believe there's nobody better at that than us. We have what it takes to be successful today and in the future. The answer to the future is us operating as us. Us having the highest expectation on our products and services. Us passionately focused as customers as we always have been. But us also taking it to the next level of customer experience. And we can lead that, should lead that better than anyone. For us to do that, we've got to operate as one team. That's what this conference is all about. Us operating as one team. Now, one of the greatest analogies for this teamwork would be a relay race. Relay races, relay teams, they have 4 runners, right? And it's certainly true that each runner has to be the fastest to win. But it's also true that the handoff is just as crucial to the win. If we don't set up the next runner for success, we're going to lose the race. Think about our team. Train, distribution, dealers, consumer. That's our 4 racers. Our job is to make sure every one of those racers is successful, and our job is to make sure that we set up each other for success, with the end goal being winning the race as defined by the experience of that consumer. We need to hand to the distribution hands to dealer, and dealer hands to consumer, and all of us are focused on that end win, the win of the team, which is the consumer experience. That's our goal. That's our team goal. And the way we achieve that goal is by having the common purpose. The why before the what. That common purpose is customer success. And we can achieve it better than anyone. And by the way, this is a really important purpose because we're talking about success at home, comfort of families, cost reduction so they can spend money investing in their experiences together. We have a really important purpose, and that's the success of our families at home. And it's these strategies that we went through that are exactly aligned with that purpose. The best products, the best interactions for replacements, owning the new construction and rental business, and delivering with the tools of digital a much better experience for our consumers. In one slide, this is the message. We operating as one team, achieving success. We operating as one team, delivering a leading customer experience that's focused on our customers' success. A few closing comments, a few thoughts. You're on the right team. I promise you that. And we're going to earn your loyalty every day. We will never take that for granted. We're going to build on these strategies that are already in place. They're the right strategies. With our strong brand and our strong teammates and partners in the channel. We're going to continue to invest in our products providing a total market portfolio that'll achieve those strategies. And we're going to take innovation to the next level, focused on that experience of dealers and consumers to make sure you're successful, to make sure they're successful. And that all starts over the next 2 or 3 days. We all need to take responsibility for achieving that vision. And we got 2 or 3 days to get that started. I have an ask for you. The first is for you to share. Share about your business. How can we make it better? Share about your consumer interactions. How can we make those better? Share what you know so that we can all be better for it. Second ask, build the relationships of the teammates. We got to start, we already have a great team. We got to start building it even stronger. We got to recognize it's that team that will make us highly successful. And so spend the time together over the next 2 or 3 days to strengthen the team. And then third, do something different when you get home. Please don't learn all this stuff and build all these relationships and get back home and start into your emails and never come out of them. Make the commitment right now that what you learn, 1, 2, or 3 gold nuggets, you're going to take back and you're going to do something better or different. That's the real determinant of if this conference was successful for you. If you got a return on your investment of time, is did you get something that was powerful enough that you could bring it home and do something with it? Please make the commitment to make that happen because our team is counting on you. Now with that, I cannot tell you how darn excited I am to be a part of your team. Thank you for welcoming me last night. I got to meet many of you. I'm really excited about what you've accomplished, and I'm also just as excited about what we're going to accomplish together in the future.